Ang aking red flag ay kung tatanungin mo ako during our date, are you happy? Sasagutin kita. Are you gonna match my frick?
Somebody gonna match my freak.
Most people don't know this, but modern-day Iraq was ancient Babylon, and of course Iran is ancient Persia. But did you know that ancient Yemen, or modern-day Yemen, is ancient Sheba? And did you know that Israel, formerly known as Canaan or Palestine, not Palestine when Jacob gave his land or a blessing to his 12 sons, 2 sons didn't get it. Instead, it was given to Ephraim and Benjamin, which were Joseph's kids. And did you know that the Amorites and the Moabites, which were one of the worst enemies Israel ever had, trace all the way back to Abraham's nephew, which is Terah the father. This is when Lot's daughters slept with him and got pregnant and gave birth to the Amorites. Anyways, I highly recommend this book to go deeper in historical biblical facts. Get yours now, available on the TikTok shop.
Philippine nurses laging nasa unahan. Sana pati sahod, di rin maiwan. Kung sapat ang kita sa sariling bansa, dito sila mananatili para sa kapwa.
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Brother.
Got the strap on me, no lesbo.
Oh.
Take your plum when you get a skip and buy.
À dans des heures 10.
Salt.
And
The crust.
sure.
I never
Needed
anything.
or more.
Whispers of
Are you sure?
Never have I ever.
Before.
But I can't see us. Lost in the memory. August.
Slip away.
Into a
Moment.
in time.
손에 どうした? I don't know how to say this word. それだけ? Google 使っていいよ.
May mga prince talaga tayo na mahilig mga ladkad, no? Imbes na nag-risk tayo sa bahay, panay ang aya maglakwat sa. Ikaw din naman, kalad ka rin. Mabilis din makaladkad, panay din ang sama.
Pare, ano ulam nyo? Blanched green leafy veggie with crushed sweet tomatoes in sparkling salted seafood. Wow, sarap. Ano yun? Wow, sarap. Ano yun? talbos ng kamote at bagoong na may pinisang kamatis. Kayo ano ulam nyo?
Fish fillet del El Nino.
Wow, sosyal. Ano yon?
Tuyo.
Do you know which ASEAN country has the worst income inequality? Economists measure wealth gap using something called the Gini coefficient. The lower the number, the more equal the population is. So let's look at the rankings. Surprisingly, the lowest income inequality is Thailand at 34.6. The second, which isn't so surprising, is Singapore at 35.6. Next is Vietnam at 35.7. Indonesia is at 38.3. Malaysia is 39.4. And at the very top, the highest inequality of ASEAN countries, yep, you guessed it, is the Philippines at 41.6. But here's the real question. So why is inequality so bad in the Philippines? There are many reasons, but there's one major reason that's unique to the Philippines. We've exported our middle class. I'm talking about OFWs, or overseas foreign workers, who are the backbone of the Philippines economy. So over the next month, I'm going to be breaking down the systems, the sacrifices, and the truth that nobody wants to talk about.
Trust fall. Never trust in empty promises made by scammers. Always fact check before you invest.
Protect your money. Be a smart financial consumer.
This is the Drake Passage, one of the most dangerous and feared sea routes in the world. For centuries, sailors have dreaded this unforgiving stretch of water. But why? What makes this place so terrifying that even modern ships think twice before crossing it? Many believe the Panama Canal was built simply to create a shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. While that's true, there's another reason. To avoid the 620-mile-wide nightmare between Antarctica and Cape Horn, where the most violent seas on Earth collide. Here, the Pacific, Atlantic, and Southern Oceans meet, creating monstrous waves, unpredictable currents, and legendary storms. But why is it called the Drake Passage? And what makes it so deadly? To answer that, we have to go back in time.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the black witch mushroom, poisonous and inedible.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the fire agaric mushroom, which can cause fatal poisoning if eaten.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the bleeding tooth fungus, non-toxic, but releases red liquid when squeezed.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is lindsay, a precious medicinal fungus that is very rare.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the blue-staining mushroom, which turns blue when cut. It is poisonous and inedible.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the puffball fungus, which bursts when squeezed.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the destroying angel mushroom, extremely poisonous.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the puffball mushroom, round and delicious, but when mature, it becomes a spore bomb that bursts when squeezed.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the bamboo fungus egg, delicious when stir-fried.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the beefsteak fungus, non-toxic and edible.
What kind of mushroom is this?
This is the orange bolly mushroom, which grows among trees.
Senate President Chis Escudero plans to file sa bill daw. Bawal na ang mga relative, kapamilya na i-hire as contractor, right?
I could not forget Mayor Magalong gave a PowerPoint presentation, detailed PowerPoint presentation of how our politicians and government officials have been cheating, have been stealing public works and infrastructure projects, the budget. They steal down 70% of the budget for infrastructure and 30% left to the project. Can you imagine? If you build highways, if you build roads and bridges, they would collapse. And then the public schools, if you need public school for 500,000 new students, 500,000 new students nationwide, because of all the stealing, you will have only 30% of the students with roof in their classrooms. Kawawa. So, I'll tell you another anecdote. Mr. George Cham of Dagupan City, Pangasinan, he told me he used to be a contractor. But he was fed up because all the politicians and bureaucrats and officials now nagging him, pressuring him to give all this money to him. He computed the budget will be that 20% na lang daw. He claims it's not 70, sometimes it's 80% that's stealing. So, to me, that's excessive corruption.
In your presentation, the budget for Mindanao and the Visayas, and I'd like to read from your report. that Mindanao, comprising 6 regions, will only receive the measly amount percentage of 15.4. 15.4. I have here the Congressional Policy and Budget Research Department, which shows that in the past, Mindanao was at least getting, in 2022, 16.6%. Before that, during the 14th, 15th Congress, we reached 17. Now, we're down again to only a share of percent of 15.4. Mindanao has a population of 26 million Mindanaonons, and that is exactly 22.3% of the December figure of the Philippine population of 116 million. And secondly, Mindanao contributes to our GDP at the tune of about 18 to 19%. So may we know why Mindanao is getting smaller in terms of the budget. So this is what we have now. May we ask Secretary Pangandaman, who hails from Mindanao?
Madam Chair, first, I would like to maybe note that in prior years po, we don't have the Bangsamoro Organic Law. So some of the projects po that should be given to the five provinces, six provinces po, is not included in the total national budget because we have provided a sum as a sum of money to the Bangsamoro region as provided for under the Bangsamoro Organic Law.
Madam Chair, I'd like to correct the Secretary. In 2022, here are the figures. In 2022, BARM already received 2.7 billion, and we are 16.6. In other words, this particular budget, even the previous years, already not BARM, but the Autonomous Region for Muslim Mindanao. So, but the point is that, Madam Chair, this is a decreasing trend. And I'd like to read the report of our Secretary of our Department of Economy, Planning and Development. It says here, their main finding is that economic growth remains mega Manila-centric, highlighting the need for greater, recommendation of Secretary Balisacan, for greater spatial diversification of our growth engines to enhance regional inclusion. But we are excluded. Another statement of the report of our good Secretary of the Economy is this. It says here, for the future, we should maintain robust macroeconomic fundamentals and diversify growth diverse. And in this subsection of his report, it says, strengthen resilience by diversifying sectoral growth drivers and supporting regional growth engines. What happens to this recommendation of the Secretary? Because really, 15.4, and why? Here it is. The reason why we only have 15% and our poorer friends from the Visayas is only receiving 11.1. Can you imagine that? The Visayas gets only 11.1. We get 15.4. And the reason for that is here in the report of the Honorable Secretary. Because nationwide is 25%, that's all right. But then central office gets 10%, 10.2. Why will the central office, reserve 10%? This will be the pork barrel of the cabinet members. It should be pushed already to the regions and improve the region, especially Mindanao and the Visayas. We are not going against Luzon. Luzon, Madam Chair, gets 24%. Mindanao gets 15%. Luzon, excluding NCR. NCR gets 13.3%. We will not complain about that. But we will ask that we improve the figures and the percentage of Mindanao by having the central office give that to the regions where the projects are needed.
Madam Chair, that's true. I agree po with our Congressman Congressman Rodriguez. Some of the projects and programs within the 2026 budget are lodged under the nationwide and central office of each of the departments. For example, the foreign assisted projects, there are some that are really for so po yung 5 minutes ko. Hindi, joke lang. Some projects that are foreign assisted in nature are actually in the centralized and nationwide, are lodged in the nationwide and central offices of each department. This is also true for projects like For Peace, AIX, and other social protection program. I know that some of the school building programs and even the materials for our DepEd schools are also lodged under the central office. Maybe moving forward, Madam Chair, we can actually show a presentation where will this budget, the allocation for Mindanao will go. But we will have to ask the department secretaries when they implement such projects, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Secretary. So in the Committee of Appropriations, we'll probably call the cabinet members how they can push the percentages to the regions, Visayas and Mindanao.
Si Dracula, inappoint mo bilang tagapagbantay ng blood bank ng bayan. Kakalkalin ngayon ang kanyang mga kaso. Ito pong kumpanya niyang SunWest Corporation. True or false? Ito po ba ang isa sa pinakamalaking government contractor sa bansa? Sagot, true. True or false? Ang korporasyon po ba niyang SunWest Corporation ay kasama dito sa kontrobersyal na Farmally case dito na inimbestigahan sa Senado na kasuhan ng Senado? The answer is true. Kasama din po ba ang kumpanya niya dito po sa kontrobersyal na DepEd laptop scam? Ang sagot po, true. Pinakakasuhan din po ng Senado ang kumpanyang ito. Kung maglalabas po kayo ng baho, Mr. President, dapat naman siguro maligo ka muna. Ang masaklap po, inappoint po siya ng Kamara de Representantes bilang tagapagbantay ng kaban ng bayan. Si Dracula, inappoint mo bilang tagapagbantay ng blood bank ng bayan.
What country is in this video? No, it's not Pakistan. That is Wilmslow Road in Manchester, where people celebrate Pakistan Independence Day. Hey, it's good. Just normal British lads in a British city doing British things. Not just Manchester, though. This was Ilford in London. Lads, I've only got one criticism for you. I think your flags are so small. That's better. That's how you do it. Let's just check in on how Birmingham's getting on. That's the same Birmingham that hosted a pro-Palestine protest on Remembrance Sunday. Because it's all right to celebrate Pakistani culture, but we can't commemorate our war heroes in peace, can we? Oh, and Birmingham Council got involved. They turned Birmingham Library into a giant Pakistani flag. Lovely stuff. So the council can light up public buildings in the Pakistani flag, but they can't organise bin collections. Oh, I mean, I'm trying not to be dramatic here, but the smell is absolutely overpowering, I'm afraid. Flies everywhere. Yeah. They're raising council tax and letting the city rot in its own filth. But the Lord Mayor... all the time in the world to hoist the Pakistani flag. The council took down St George's flags from their streets because they said that they could put lives at risk. So they actually took the flag of this country down. Now, last time I was in Birmingham, there were Palestine flags all over the place. And now the Pakistani flag is everywhere as well. Look, hey, I don't know about you, but I'm not really sure that's integration, is it? And you know what puzzles me? Why so many people in Britain are actually celebrating Pakistani independence. You know, I mean, gosh, there are obviously massive human rights issues in Pakistan, aren't there? I'm not sure it's legal to be gay, is it? I don't know how women's rights are getting on in Pakistan. What is the honour-based violence like over there? But hey, what do I know? Happy Pakistan Independence Day, everybody.
Aaminin ko pa o baka bigla lang mawala kung ano man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cagayan de Oro City, the gateway to northern Mindanao known as the City of Golden Friendship. A vibrant destination where vibrant cultural heritage, rich history, and experience warm hospitality of its people, offering a unique blend of tradition and modernity. Join me as we explore Cagayan de Oro City, where unforgettable experiences await you at every turn.
I don't know where you got your information, Senator, but that is a lie. I can also sue you for libel because we have not issued any clearance, Senator. So before you start talking, you make your facts right.
Nagkasagutan ng mga opisyal at residente ng Green Hills East Village sa Mandaluyong dahil sa planong construction ng 70-story condominium. Labag daw kasi ito sa zoning laws na...
Uminit ang tensyon sa Green Hills East Village sa Mandaluyong dahil yan sa planong pagtayo ng higit 70-story condominium. Proposed high-rise daw ito ng Shang Properties Incorporated o SPI na may projected 9-year construction timeline. Na-acquire ito sa halagang 2.5 billion pesos mula sa San Miguel Properties, isang subsidiary ng San Miguel Corporation ni ultra-bilyonaryo Ramon Ang. Kontra ang ilang mga residente, kabilang na si Senator Erwin Tulfo dahil sa paglabag daw nito sa zoning laws at kawalan ng konsultasyon. Nagsagawa ng town hall meeting ang mga residente kagabi.
Many of us only learn about this project through informal channels. No formal notice, no public hearing, and no consent was sought from the residents. A blatant disregard of our rights and our voices.
Ani Tulfo, mismong si Mandaluyong Mayor Menchie Abalos ang nagsabing approved ito ng barangay at ng GEVA o Green Hills East Village Association. Panahon pa raw ng kanyang father-in-law na si Ben Abalos Sr.
Those elected or appointed to represent and protect our interests have failed to inform us, engage with us, or explain how such a massive development will proceed without our knowledge or input.
Umapela si Tulfo sa Mandaluyong LGU na i-review and if needed, i-revoke ang permit ng Shang Properties. Pero agarang bumuelta ang barangay sa senador. Anila, wala silang in-issue na clearance sa Shang Properties dahil hindi rin kumpleto ang documents nito at wala raw approval mula sa GEVA.
So I don't know where you got your information, Senator, but that is a lie. I can also sue you for libel. Because we have not issued any clearance, Senator. So before you start talking, you make your facts right.
Katunayan, maski sila, nagulat daw sa biglaang heads up tungkol sa pagtatayo ng gusali. Sinisikap din daw ng board makipag-ugnayan sa LGU, kaya lang they were allegedly snubbed by local officials. Para sa barangay, nagmistulang atake ang mga pahayag ng senador.
By the Java board and by the barangay, you're double whammy, Mr. Senator.
Pero paglilinaw ni Tulfo, nakuha niya ang info sa mismong alkalde at naroon siya sa town hall meeting, hindi para maging kaaway, kundi bilang isang concerned resident. Isang low-density residential zone ang Green Hills East na may height limit na 3 floors o 10 meters lang. Una nang naglabas ng board resolution ng JEVA na tumututol sa malalaking development sa loob ng village. Concern ng mga residente, nalulunod na ang Green Hills East sa diesel, naglalakihang delivery trucks at double parking, dahilan para maistorbo ang peace and order sa lugar. Sa reso na pinirmahan noong July 23, inuutos na walang may isyung permit para sa structures na lalagpas sa 6 na palapag o 18 meters at 10 palapag o 30 meters. Bawal din ang construction na magdadagdag ng higit 15 employees sa isang establishment. Sa ngayon, wala pa ring paglilinaw mula sa Mandaluyong LGU at Siang Properties. Pero kalaunay nagkasundo at nagkamayan pa ang mga residente at umuugong ang posibleng pagpupulong nila kasamang LGU. Para sa ilang residente ng Green Hills East, hindi ito panahon para maging divided. Panawagan pa nila, they're not saying no to development. They're saying yes to a smart, humane, and law-abiding one.
Sa ulo. Sa NBI kami, meron kami search warrant dito sa lugar nyo. Ha? Recorded ng body worn camera itong operation. Kamay sa ulo. Kamay sa ulo kuya. Lahat. Kamay sa ulo. Sumunod na lang para mabilis. Kamay sa ulo. Lahat. Kamay sa ulo kuya. Makinig. Yuko. Lahat. Ulo, ligay. Kung walang gagalaw ng computer ha. Kamay sa ulo. Sa lugar nyo. Ayun nyo. Meron kami reklamo at investigation na ginawa. Bold ko yung sa ulo.
Di ko inisip na mawawala ka pa.